I think the people that are watching this video right now are probably aware of the announcement that KLab made about SIF. Well, if you couldn't tell by the title of the video, well, the announcement is true that KLab will be merging the EN server with JP in mid-March, which is actually 1 month away as of this video. Now, the announcement makes me happy but sad at the same time. Happy because KLab is still going to continue support for the game for the foreseeable future. Normally, a lot of game companies would close the EN server and never merge with the JP server. But here we have KLab showing their full commitment to keeping the game alive for many players around the world. And that's a very good thing. And I'm very sad about it because I think for most people, the EN server was probably the first entry into the Love Live franchise. And for me, I've been playing this game for 7 years and definitely I can vouch for that. This was the reason, or this game in particular is the reason why I got into Love Live. I started from the game, then I moved to the anime, then I got into the seiyus, and then later on I got into the music. Basically, this defined me as a Love Live fan, and to this day I am still playing the game and I'm still up to date on the new stuff. Especially now we have a new generation coming in with Love Live, and that's a pretty exciting thing to see. But we'll lose part of our memories, but at least it will continue to live on with the JP team. But anyways, I want to go over the news that they actually posted in the game announcement and kind of go through the details and explain little by little, because there seems to be a lot of confusion in the community regarding this merge. As I've said, the merge is going to happen around mid-March. There's actually no date yet when this will happen, but I assume they will actually tell us maybe weeks in advance before they actually drop the update. So let's go through some of the things that will change going forward. So number 1, Korean and traditional Chinese support will be removed and no longer supported. So unfortunately for all Korean and Chinese players, you will either play in English or Japanese only. Second, the in-game time such as the daily reset, event time start and end, scouting schedules, shop schedules, and more will be displayed in Japan Standard Time. Currently in SIFEN, I think the time is based on the British time. Number 3, prices for shop items in the Korean and traditional Chinese will be consolidated with prices in the English version. Number 4, for iOS users, the minimum OS requirement is now iOS 11, and for Android, version 6 will be the minimum. And number 5, with players now into one server, the games will share the same features such as guest and rankings for live shows, event rankings and matchups in score match, companion match, or rhythm carnival. And lastly, the ability to add or show players from JP and vice versa. Alright, so what will happen to the events and gachas, or more specifically, what will happen to those events that were skipped, or the gachas that were skipped? If I'm not mistaken, when the Korean and Taiwan server actually merged with EN, I think this was a few years ago, I believe they actually got the event cards in the present box, and for the cards that they missed, I believe they had a special scouting page specifically for them, and I think this might actually happen for EN players that will be migrating to JP. But again, I don't know the full details, but I think they might do the same thing for the global players. Next up is changes to play history. This part is very important, so please do listen carefully. Number 1, your present box reward history will reset. However, do not be confused here. This will only delete the history data of past items. Any items currently in your present box will not be affected by the merge. Second, your performance class progress will reset due to the addition of the live arena event, so unfortunately you have to work your way up again, which I know may be very painful for some of you, but there's really no other choice here. Number 3, your customized stamp sets will reset. Number 4, exchange limit for sticker shop and point shop will reset. Number 5, songs that were available in the Japanese version will be reflected in the songs cleared section of your profile. Number 6, song rankings will reflect the Japanese version content once the change is implemented. And for the last one, this might be very sad for some of you, So unfortunately, your friend activity and all your messages will be deleted when this merges to JP. So I would suggest that you screenshot all your precious messages, friend activities before this happens. The next is regarding game data transfer. This part seems to be where the confusion seems to happen the most, and I will try to explain this in detail. Number 1, do you need to download the Japanese version? And the answer to that is no, you don't. When the game receives the update in March, whether you have the EN, Taiwan, or Korean client, you'll automatically get the update, and then once the update and maintenance is finished, you will be connected to the JP server, and there's no action needed on your end. But as always, do ensure that you have a copy of your transfer code in case something happens. Or even better, connect your account to SIF ID to be safe. That way you can contact customer support if something goes wrong. Now second, what if you have a JP account? Will this affect me? The answer to that is no. Your JP account will continue to operate like normal. The only difference now is you can interact with English players or players that are coming from the global server. And 3, for Korean and Chinese players, you will need to create an SIF ID and link your account if you wish to continue playing after the merge. And the last thing is a concern regarding the app themselves. Will there be any effect if you have both versions installed? As far as I know, this won't be an issue. It will basically connect you to JP and the features will be pretty much the same. And that's the only thing that will change. You can keep both apps installed with no issue. On the plus side though, if you've been playing on JP for a very long time, you finally have the option to switch to English if you so desire, as the clients will pretty much be the same now. And for iOS users, you don't have to maintain 2 Apple ID accounts anymore. The reason why I bring this up is because in order to buy in-app purchases in SIF, your Apple ID must be signed into the corresponding version of SIF. For example, you cannot use your US Apple ID to buy in-app purchases on SIF JP. You need to sign into your Japanese Apple ID to make the purchase. So I expect that when the merge is complete, you can download SIF on your main Apple ID and then transfer the game data to that, and you should be ready to go. But as a reminder, once again, always keep a copy of your transfer code as well as connecting to SIF ID before you do this. That is all. Hopefully I explained it really well, and I definitely think this has been a long time coming since KLab has been trying to increase the pace at trying to keep up with JP for a very long time. And merging the two will finally eliminate this issue. As someone who does software development, this completely streamlines the development for the game, as KLab does not need to maintain 2 separate branches of the same game. Everybody will get the same features and bug fixes basically. And of course, with Love Live Superstar coming, they definitely don't want to have another delay, the same way during the Muse to Aqua transition a few years ago. That one was a complete mess. Thank you for watching. I know this is a bit unusual for the channel, but I hope to do more of this in the future. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Cause I don't want nobody change me now. Cause I like to be myself. If you're not agree, you can walk away. You can walk away. You can walk away. Something in my mind makes me think that ain't nobody perfect.